Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your boy, Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a discussion, sort of a head-to-head comparison. Two fragrances from the house of Lattafa. Now, before I get into that, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. I need you to sub to the channel. And I need you to continue to check in and tell me where you're watching these videos from. Let your boy know. We know we got people up in Colorado watching. We know we got people in Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, all the way across the pond to South Africa, to England, Puerto Rico, just everywhere watching these videos. And I greatly appreciate you. All right. So, Lattafa. Lattafa is a really good house. They're popping up a lot at Burlington. And for the most part, they're pretty good fragrances. Really good fragrances. I picked up two a while back. One is Teriyaki Intense. The other is called Mashrabia. Now, this is a clone of Kilian's Smoking Hot. Kilian is a very expensive brand. I don't know this one to be a clone of anything. This Teriyaki Intense, they have Teriyaki and then they have Teriyaki Intense. I want to say they're $35 to $40 each at Burlington. Right, yeah, $35 to $40 each at Burlington. And they both smell good. This one, at first, I wasn't really that high on, but then I was like, let me give it a wearing. Gave it a wearing, and within 10 minutes of being at work, I had two women compliment me on this fragrance. Now, again, that's not what changed my mind about it. When a fragrance is really hyped, sometimes you go into it with too high of expectations. Now, the reason for this video is this. Even with houses like Lattafa, there can be fragrances made that are just honestly too similar to own them both. And I happen to think that is the case with this one. Now, when I do videos like this, there's always somebody that gets upset in the comment and go, well, this one has the note of blah, 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 and this one has the note of blah, 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 so that makes them different. Look, are they identical? No. But it's the same vibe. It's the same vibe. Sometimes it's like comparing rotisserie chicken to grilled chicken. Are they the same? Not exactly. But if you prepare them right, it could be so similar that you're not gonna want grilled chicken Monday and then baked chicken Tuesday. You're gonna be like, I just had chicken. So, and that could be the case here. Now, if you really like chicken like I do, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. The Mashrabia, which is a beautiful scent. And again, this is a clone of Kilian's Smoking Hot. There's the Mashrabia, sprayed by the right hand onto the left hand. And here is the Teriyaki Intense, sprayed by the left hand onto the right hand. Both of these, most of you will consider to be more fall and winter scents. And oversprayed. They are both very strong. Now, will you be able to tell them apart? Yes, I'm not saying that they're identical, What I'm saying is the same vibe that you would want to wear this one, you will want to wear this one, or vice versa. They're both very, very hot, spicy fragrances. I think there's saffron in there. The opening is where you're going to get the biggest differences. Now, if you ask me which one I think smells better in the opening, it is the Teriyaki Intense. This one comes across a lot smoother and sweeter in the opening. The Teriyaki Intense does, which to me makes it smell better because, in my opinion, it's just like a song. You know, when you like, I don't know, Shaka Khan, when you hear that with this song, you know, Sweet Thing, it's got you from the minute. You either like it or you don't, from the very minute that it hits your ear. Well, a lot of times fragrances are the same way. From the very minute that they hit your nose, you either love them or you don't. This is a really nice smelling fragrance as well. The biggest difference that I get from the Teriyaki Intense and the Mashrabia is this. The Mashrabia is a dry spice. It's a dry spice. It smells like something, and it's not in a bad way, that you would have in your kitchen cabinet that you would get to mix with the concoction of, I don't know, say turmeric and ginger or something like that. And you would grab this and dump it off in there to make your concoction in the morning to get your blood flowing. That's what this smells like. And it's not a bad thing, and it's not in a bad way, and it's not a bad smelling fragrance. It just comes off a little bit more dry in its spice, where the Teriyaki Intense comes off as sweeter, but it almost has a little bit of animalicness at the very, very bottom, and it's not a bad thing either. Now, that's in the opening, but that's where you're going to get the most. That's where, to me, to my nose, to my honest opinion, off of my skin, that's where these two fragrances are the farthest apart. The longer they stay on your skin, the more they become similar. So, in my opinion, it's not necessary to own them both. Now, you can do what you want to. You can do what you want to. If I had to pick which one I liked better, honestly, it is the Teriyaki Intense. I like this one better than I do the Mashrabia. They're both extremely manly, and they're both extremely, extremely spicy. Think in terms of level of spice, wouldn't go as far as to say the original Spice Bomb. I would say Spice Bomb Infrared comes to mind. That kind of in your face, yeah, that kind of spice, that comes to mind. Wouldn't go as far as Red Tobacco, different because it doesn't have that fruitiness or that, doesn't have the tobacco. A very nice fragrance. Either one, I think, would be sufficient and would do you really, really good. Do I think you can wear them now? Absolutely. Again, I wore this not too long ago, and I got lots of compliments with it. Nobody said, man, I can't believe you're wearing that spicy fragrance in the middle of the summer. But again, it probably came off sweet on my skin. To this stage, to this point, you saw me just spray them on. To this point on my skin, some of that dry spice vibe is starting to dissipate with this one, and it's coming on. Again, this one has a sweeter, cleaner vibe to it. I honestly think this one is the better fragrance of the two. To my nose, off of my skin, this is the one that smells the best. Now, that is through the opening and through the mid. Again, the further we get into this and the longer they stay on my skin, the more they're going to be similar. The biggest difference that I get from the two, honestly, is this one has a dried spice type of feel. And some of you may smell that and go, shoot, I like that better. And some of you may, see this video or see a video about this one and go, well, if it smells like Killian Smoking Hot, that's the one for me, because it's a clone of whatever floats your boat, finds your lost remote. Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you that at the end of the day, these two fragrances are very, very similar in the dry down. They take two different approaches to get there. If you're doing the traveling, when you put a destination in your GPS, it gives you more than one route, all right? Okay, this one is the short one, but it involves the interstate. This one is a long ride through the country, but you avoid major cities. So it's up to you which one you like best. In my opinion, I like this one. It's just a little bit more smooth, a little bit less in your face. It has a little something running through the bottom of it that gives it just enough of a fruit nuance to make it slightly playful. Not a lot of fruit at all. Neither one of these are apologetic. They're both unapologetic man juice type fragrance. And I like them both. At first, I thought this one was like, man, that's kind of, but then again, I wore it, got it on my skin and let it do what it do. And I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. This one, it doesn't smell bad at all. Again, the dry down, I keep referring to the dry down because to me, that's when they're the closest together. Right now, they're the farthest apart, that opening to mid, because, okay, you know how you've smelled cocoa powder? Like, I don't know. Yeah, like cocoa powder, like hot chocolate is what we call it in Alabama, like just a packet of it. And you know how it's got that, it smells like chocolate, but it's dry. Well, that's kind of the way this one is. It just has a dry, but earthy could be a good way to describe it. Just a dry, earthy spice smell. And again, it's in a really good way. I don't want you to think that it's off-putting or it doesn't smell good, because it does. There's nothing about this fragrance that smells bad. It just smells a little bit like a seasoning that you would have in your cabinet. And that's not a bad thing. And by this point, some of that earthiness and I guess natural could be a better way to describe it as well. Some of that earthy, natural feel that it has at this point started to really, really dissipate. But that's where the two of the fragrances start to come together. Now we're getting on the same road. Now we've gotten to the city. Now we, both of them on the back road. And again, I don't want anybody to get it twisted or get it confused, because, when I say two fragrances are similar, a lot of people be like, I can smell the difference. I'm not saying that you won't be able to smell the difference. I'm not saying that you won't be able to tell which is which if you spray one on one hand and spray one on another and go, yes, you will be able to remember, this is the one I sprayed the teriyaki on. This is the one I sprayed the mashrabia on. What I'm saying is, if you had both of these fragrances and you walked into a room nobody's gonna be like, is that teriyaki or mashrabia? That's what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm making, is that both of these are gonna get you to the same place and give you the same vibe. So you don't have to buy them both. Now, if you smelled them both, then, you know, you pick the one that is better for you. So that is the purpose of this video, is to inform you that both of these fragrances can be found at Burlington. Both of them are around the same price range. Both of them give you really good presentation as far as the bottles go and the packaging. Both of them are really good in that sense. And both of them are similar in scent profiles. Again, this one comes off a little bit sweeter on my skin. Not a little bit, a lot sweeter on my skin, which makes it, to me, a little bit better. This one, once that dry seasoning wears down, and what you have left is a spicy scent without that hint of sweetness and fruit that this one has. So, in my opinion, they're both getting you to the same exact place. And that's the point. The same day that you would want to reach for this one, you could reach for this one, and vice versa. I do think this one is a little bit better because I think it has a little bit more depth and a little bit more personality with the sweetness and the fruit running through the undertone. Where this one, the mashrabia, is maintaining that heat where this one turns to sweet. But again, it is just my humble opinion that you won't need them both. Because I think this one has the same heat of spice. And it would make sense because they're from the same house. So they may have used the same perfumer. If not the same perfumer, they definitely used some of the same ingredients and notes. And more than likely they were going to be sourced from the same place, so that would explain why they are similar. And that's the type of thing you have to be careful for. Now, in the grand scheme of things, if you want them both for $35, it's certainly affordable, and they're both really good fragrances, and you're not gonna lose at that price. You're just not. $35, $70 for both of these fragrances, you're not gonna lose. They will service you many fall and winters. So that's one way you could look at it too. Get them while the getting is good is another way that you can look at them. But for those of you who are conscious about things like that and don't want a lot of fragrances that are similar sitting in your collection, then I don't think you will need both Teriyaki Intense and mashrabia. I want to say this again for the people in the back who just woke up. This one is definitely sweeter with a very small kiss of fruit running through the bottom. This one is a drier type of heat and a drier type of spice. But I think they will both serve the same purpose. That's the point I want to hammer home to you. Again, will you be able to smell a difference in the two? Absolutely. Will other people think that you wore two different fragrances if you wore these in consecutive days? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because when you get to that dry down, again, you will be able to tell a difference if you spray this arm with one and this arm with one. You will be able to tell a difference. Yes, you will. I'm not saying that they are 100% carbon copies of each other. Not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is they're going to get you to the same place. They may take two different directions to get there, but they're going to get you there. So if you want a sweeter, more fruitier way to get there, teriyaki intense. If you want a more in-your-face, pungent, dry spice type of scent, Mashrabia. Can't go wrong with either one. They're both really nice fragrances, but you don't have to own them both. In fact, I'm taking both of these to work with me one day today, and I'm going to let a coworker smell them both, and whichever one he likes best, he can buy. And I'm sure he's going to pick this one because I've already told him that this one has gotten me several compliments from the ladies, and he's a young guy looking for some female attention. So I think this is the one he's gonna pick. You know, I told him they're both really, really strong and masculine, and I don't know if they're his type of fragrance, but he wants to try them. So I'm gonna take them both with me and let him smell them and let him make his own decision. He may not like either one of them. He may go, that's too strong. And he would be correct because they're both strong. But now, how long have they been on my skin? How long has this video been rolling? 20 minutes. So at the 20-minute mark, the closest that they've been together. And again, there is a difference. You can tell this one is just, it's just sweeter. This one is just a sweeter spice. Where this one is just more dry. But I just feel like, in my humble opinion, I just feel like you don't need them both. I feel like that it gets to the same place. It's just my opinion on it. Now, again, I'm gonna say this one last time and I'm gonna wrap it up. They're both affordable fragrances. They're both from the house of Lattafa. You're gonna get high quality juice with both of them. Neither one of them are screechy or smell cheap by any means. So it's just a matter of opinion. Could you own them both and be good? Yeah, for $35 each, yeah, why not? Why not? Could you decide to keep one and move the other one along like I'm probably gonna do? Would you feel bad if you did it? I don't think so. And I'm gonna say this one last time. Are there differences in them? Yes, there are definitely differences in them. I'm gonna say this again for the people in the back. The purpose of this video is to let you know that you're going to get the same vibe from these two fragrances, so you do not have to purchase them both unless you just want to. I suggest you smell them and pick the one that you like the better of the two, because you don't need two smoking, very, very spicy, peppery fragrances in your collection, especially if you already have Spice Bomb Intense, Spice Bomb Extreme, or Spice Bomb Infrared to go along with this. You won't need it all. You just won't. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope this video was informative. And again, the only reason I'm telling you this is because I know people are shopping a lot at Burlington looking for really, really good scents. And I know a lot of people are going crazy over Lattafa because I've seen them in Burlington myself going, man, this is Lattafa, you know. So yeah, that being said, and I'm gonna say this too, I wore Paco Rabanne Invictus Platinum to the barbershop the other day. Got several compliments on it, and it started, of course, a conversation about fragrances. Why does Creed always come up? Like, it's just like, why? And they say Creed as if it's just one scent from Creed. I like that Creed. And I just look, when people say that, I just look at them like they're stupid. Like, why is that, people? Why does Creed always come up? Is it because it's still considered the creme de la creme? So y'all help me out with this. How many of you still consider Creed to be the cream of the crop when it comes to fragrances? Because a lot of beginners or are people that are not really frag heads, are not really big into fragrances, but still want one or two, always seem to always want to throw Creed out there. Where people like us have really moved on from it. There's a lot of people that just haven't. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I am going to get off of here. If you ask me which fragrance I like the best, yeah, it is the Teriyaki Intense. It's just smoother, sweeter, has something in it that's a little bit better and performs a little bit better on my skin as far as the scent profile goes. Now, do I dislike this? No. But this one is more spicy than it is sweet. So if you want one that is just hot and feels hot and warm and inviting, go with the Mashrabia. If you want one that's a little bit more seductive, sexy, sweeter, a little bit more come hither, go with the Teriyaki. But do you need them both? I honestly don't think so. So that being said, I am gonna get off of here. I love you all. May God bless you all. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time, guys. Peace.